Of Clear Channel Broadcasting licenses. Welcome to the Know Nothing Show with Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman, who've been in the legal profession for over 30 years and now want to share their experience and knowledge with you. Hey, maybe they do know a little something. You can join Alan and Rich by calling in toll-free 1-800-889-0267 or watch them on elkinsandfriedman.com on Friday nights. Now your hosts for the next hour, Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman.
Hey now everybody, and a good evening. I'm Alan Elkins. We don't have any Richard Friedman with us. You know, Nicole, everybody probably knows, if anybody listens to the show, that we have a co-host, and she's a lovely co-host, and her name's Nicole. How are you tonight, Nicole?
I'm doing really good. How are you?
All right, there's Nicole. Now, you know, it's supposed to be the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing show, but I think it's more like the Elkins and Nicole Know Nothing
That's
show.
what I've been waiting to hear.
What's with this guy, Friedman? I know he's driving on his way. I called him about 5:45 in Fort Lauderdale, and I said, come on, Richard, you didn't leave yet. You may be trying to call me right now. Let me leave my phone. No, it's and my son's saying, Freddie, congratulations, the video is working. So anybody that wants to see what we look like, and we have a special guest we'll get to in a minute, but can look at us on www.theknownothing.show.com. So you can see us there, or on elkinsandfriedman.com, which we said before. If you wish to call us, we are at 561-844-6167. Or you can dial us toll-free anywhere in the United States, 1-800-889-0267. We would love nothing more than for you to participate with us. And, of course, we're coming to you from the studios of WBZT, 1230 a.m. So now, we got plenty of show tonight. Let me go ahead and first, as we always do, we're here with Freddie, our producer, Linda, his assistant. We've already introduced the lovely and sexy Nicole. And tonight, and let me not forget Lynn the board op. I'll never live down. How are you tonight, Lynn?
Good, how are you? Hey, how are you?
And we have a special guest with us, and her name is Roxanne. And Roxanne is here to tell you, the listening audience, everything you want to know about bees. And why don't you talk to the mic, Roxanne? How are you tonight?
I'm good.
All right, now, Roxanne, we're going to get into it in just a minute, but I want to whet the audience's appetite. You are a beekeeper?
Yeah.
How would you define? What do you do?
I'm a beekeeper and an AP therapist.
Okay, and I had trouble understanding the idea of AB therapist, AP?
AP, that's Latin.
What does it stand for?
Bee therapy.
So it's bee therapy. You are a bee therapist.
Yes.
And you do everything related to bees. And I understand at some point during the show tonight, you were going to take out one of the many live bees that you have here in the audience. Why don't you hold up your little your bee jar there? You see the camera there? There are live bees in there.
Yeah.
And you're going to take one of these bees and sting the lovely Nicole.
Yay!
All right? And you're going to sting her, and she's going to feel better because of it, right?
Yes.
Lesser women might cry, but not Nicole.
Me.
She's immediately going to be transformed.
Yes.
More lovely, if that's possible, than she is now. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
if it's possible.
you know, I guess we have to decide now that Friedman's not here. We would normally make small talk. In fact, maybe I should tell Richard, if you're listening, why don't you call into the show? I know he's going to come running in here, but we got a couple of things. So let's just talk about the news, and maybe what we'll do, I'll have everybody chip in. I guess, you know, I don't know what the biggest story is of the day. It might well be that if anybody's watching the Winter Olympics, and I really haven't watched, I'm guilty. Don't watch the Winter Olympics. But I know what's sad is that the hockey teams, both men and women, on the verge, close to gold, but both settle for the silver. Now, Freddie, I know I'll talk to Freddie. Freddie's a sports guy. Are you even watching?
The men are going to play for the bronze tomorrow.
Well, yes, you're right. They are playing for the bronze because they lost to the Canadians 1-0 today. I saw were shut out, and then in heartbreaking fashion, I know that the women yesterday were up 2 goals, a couple minutes left. Canada comes back and scores 2 quick goals, and then they beat us in overtime. And I know at one point we had an open net. And I think there was some interference by the referees, but they took a shot. It clanked off the post. They had made their goal. Ladies would have gold, but instead they settled for silver. So I think that's enough Olympic talk. We fulfilled our requirement.
Yeah.
No, NBC spent like $1 gazillion to cover the Winter Olympics, and I honestly just don't think anybody cares. Yeah, because it's like tape delayed, and you already know the outcome, and we're not doing particularly well.
We're leading.
Are we leading in the medal
25
count?
medals.
And I know the other
Who's getting
story.
golds?
Well, the other problem is the Ukraine's on fire, and you got terrorists threatening to blowing it up. So
Exactly.
Well,
I think we're afraid.
and you know what? And then the one thing that I read about is that in the figure skating, the Russian judges seem to be slightly biased. It was
a little bit.
open criticism, just saying that it was pretty blatant that some young girl, not expect to even finish in the medals, miraculously takes the gold.
The
So
17-year-old, yeah.
yeah, it's kind of sad, but what are you
That's
going to do?
fit.
So that was the first one. Now, in related Olympic news, I don't know if anybody saw this, and I don't know if you could, if even we're putting up on the screen, Freddie, but it turns out that there was a wolf loose in the village of where the athletes stayed. Do you even know what I'm talking about? Anybody have an idea? There was a wolf. You know, one of the criticisms that at the Olympics that there were a lot of wild dogs running around, and it's unfortunate. I know they're adopting a lot of those dogs, and I, of course, am a pet lover. But what happened? One of the Olympic athletes photographed allegedly a wolf in the dorm room, and national news. It was on every media story, and it turns out it was a prank by Jimmy Kimmel.
It's a dog.
Yeah, and it turns out it was last night. Jimmy Kimmel actually showed the footage. And if you take a look on our screen, maybe some people thought it was a Siberian Husky, a wolf. But the story is they went to the elaborate extreme that this Olympic athlete that was participating or in on the con with Jimmy Kimmel took pictures of what the Olympic Village housing looked like. Then in California, they recreated what it would look like and then pretended that they had a loose wolf in the dorm, and it went viral. It literally went viral, millions of views. So the bottom line is he revealed that it was a hoax last night. Then they showed how they created the hoax, and it was kind of funny.
Wow,
So
he pulled it off, obviously. That's
and you know what I
Bringing them
read?
in.
What's interesting is that now that there's competition, that Jay Leno's not there, Jimmy Kimmel trying to do what he can, David Letterman trying to do whatever he can, so that the other Jimmy has some competition now because he's the new hot thing. I even read, not really a story, but Jay Leno might appear on David Letterman, and they were like, they didn't talk to each other for many years, just as a ratings ploy. So for whatever that's worth.
Well, they were in the Beatles. David Letterman.
Yeah, but you know what? Since, I don't know why I can't think. Who's the new Jimmy? Jimmy Fallon. Since Jimmy Fallon's ratings have been huge since he started
He's a good
last
guy.
week. He is. He's very
like
talented.
that one. Yeah.
But
Way
the
more
other guy's
original.
desperation setting in. And I had one other story related to the Russians, and I don't know how many. And Lynn, get near the dump button. You don't have to hit it yet, but there's a Russian band, okay? And the name of the Russian band, and people probably know this, is called Pussy Riot. That's the name of the band.
No.
And what's happened, yeah, it's a legitimate band. In fact, they came out with derogatory comments toward Russia, and they were incarcerated. Two of the band members ended up serving, I think, over like 2-year sentences. It was crazy. So what happened is that they got out of prison. In fact, they appeared in New York for some amnesty type thing, and they become an international sensation. So the members of Pussy Riot were actually going at the Olympic. I can't remember where are the Olympics again? Wherever the Olympics are.
Sochi.
Sochi. So they were there, and they were going to perform, and you can't make this stuff up. They were attacked by a group of Cossacks. Cossacks. Okay, don't even ask me what Cossacks, what area of Russia they come from.
What's a Cossack?
But they were whipped. So, of course, I had this joke like 3 days ago. I was going to say that it gives, here we see the band. I was going to say Cossacks whipping Pussy Riot gives a new meaning to Pussy Whipped.
Oh my God.
That was my joke. It was a little long in setting it up, but what are you
That's
gonna
a good
do?
one.
All right, thank you. All right, now we still got no Friedman here. We traditionally take our first break at about 7:15, so why don't we take our first break and see if Friedman comes running in anytime soon.
Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins and Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins and Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.TV. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. This is the Know Nothing Show with practicing attorneys Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman. Elkins and Friedman have been helping folks throughout Florida for more than 30 years, and they're here now to share their knowledge and experiences with you. Stand by for more information and fun.
And we're back, everybody. I'm here with the lovely Nicole. We have a special guest that we'll get to momentarily, Roxanne, I'm going to call you the Bee Lady. Can I call you the Bee Lady?
That's what I call
In the meantime, and I say this in the nicest possible way, my moron of a partner still isn't here. We do a radio show. He's never here. Lynn, is there a way that we can try to call him and see if he picks up the phone?
I was just trying to call him, but it doesn't let me dial
the
a long
bee got
distance number. And there is a bee loose in the studio.
Hey, wait a minute. There is a bee loose in the studio.
Everybody relax.
Now, okay.
She's not going to sting. My girls aren't suicidal.
All right,
Put
listen.
some
We're gonna
headphones
get to
on the bee.
we're gonna get to the Bee Lady Roxanne right now because
They're
this is
gonna go
too
for the light.
interesting. All right, so
Yeah, I'll
jeez,
get him after.
It is buzzing around now. If you wanted to get the bee, how would you get the bee?
I would just, I would turn the lights off and she would come back to the jar.
Are you serious? You would
Yes.
turn
Yeah.
off the lights and she'd come back to the jar.
No.
But don't worry,
No,
he's not going to sting you.
So just so you know, really, is there any chance of the bee stinging
No.
anybody?
No.
Absolutely not.
All right,
Trained.
Freddie, is there a way to turn the camera on Linda? Linda.
She's hiding behind her laptop.
Yeah, somebody
as we
hiding
speak.
behind a laptop, and unfortunately, that covers about 20% of her body.
Oh my God.
Wow, and I'm imagining I'm getting stung in my head. All right, listen. You're here, Roxanne. You're a fascinating lady. I talked to you briefly. You have a company called Bee Made.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
tell us about Bee Made and tell us about you. How on earth did you get involved with bees?
I got involved because
Pull that mic up there.
I got involved because a friend of mine was sick, and I started doing research on how bees heal. And
And
that's,
how? We
and I
don't talk
couldn't-
ages, but this is a long time ago. You
no,
started?
this is about 3 years ago.
Only 3 years
Yes.
ago you got in the biz.
Yes.
All right, so tell us about the bee
And then
biz.
I started. I saw a lot of bee products that were compromised, and I decided to create my own.
And what do you mean compromise? I know I see Burt's Bees products. I see them everywhere.
No,
and we're not going to say anything bad
No.
about Burt's Bees, but you're saying that's not like natural stuff, or
Well, I like live products.
you
and
deal with live products. You deal with live
products,
bees.
I make sure the products are not injured and the enzymes are intact and the healing properties. Because I'm a healer. I'm a
So you
hypnotherapist.
raise these bees,
Yes, I
and
do.
where do you raise the bees?
They're from Stewart to Jupiter Farms.
And do you own the property, raise the bees, or
No. People will usually let us put our bees on their property because they get a tax benefit from it.
Oh, they get a tax benefit
Yes.
from bees being on their property.
Yes.
And how many bees, let's say, per household or property?
Well, we usually, a yard consists of 72 hives.
Okay, a yard consists of 72 hives. So how many hives do you yourself have right now?
Well, we have, for the royal jelly, we have approximately 50 hives for the royal jelly. And then,
Now, what royal jelly's a product? Is that a
Yes,
product?
Yes, and we harvest the royal jelly. The bees produce it. It's a live stem cell. I don't compromise it. I don't change it. I just gather it from
Well,
the
let's
hive.
back up, because one thing that you mentioned before we went on air is that there are different kinds of bees, right?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what are the different kinds of bees and what are your bees?
Well, we raise Italian bees.
Okay, when you
because-
say Italian bees, do these bees come from Italy? How do we know
Yeah,
they're Italian? Do they talk
Yes,
with little accents?
Yes, Italian.
They eat a lot of
Well,
pizza.
Yeah, they like pasta?
Yes, and they like big families, and they got a good disposition, and they're
yeah,
good
they're
to
the
look
mafia,
at.
some of
Yeah,
them,
yeah, some-
All right, so these are Italian bees. So
Yes.
there are different types of bees
Yes.
from different areas of the world.
absolutely.
And what makes Italian bees fun to deal with? Or what
Because
are the
of their
properties?
disposition.
Seriously?
Yeah,
They're
seriously.
more loving.
All right.
Yes,
Hey, look who's coming here.
Love.
You're not gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it.
I'm not going to
Like
believe
In
it.
the building, there was this bee by the door.
Yeah.
I couldn't get in.
Yeah, be quiet. That's what I got to say. Be quiet, put on your mic, and let's go.
But it's a true story.
There is a bee flying around your head.
It's like a killer bee.
Bees,
Very good.
stop. Bees are closest to God than anything, because two things. They work like the human heart. They never sleep.
Bees never sleep?
Never sleep.
Okay.
In the minute
How long do they live, though?
They stop when about 4 weeks.
That's it?
That's it.
Really? From birth to death,
That's
bees
almost as
live
long as
4
our
weeks.
show.
Yeah.
That's right. That's about how much longer we'll be on the air.
And they always go for the light if they're loose. They go for the light. Everything they do is by the sun and by the light.
All right. Now, I know that, I guess that you have your queen bee. Tell us about how the bees are made up as a society, because I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, they all work together, and they don't. It's not. There's nothing like an. They don't think of themselves as individuals. They work for the benefit of the hive.
Like the collective.
Yes, collective. They won't even come back. That's why it's been hard to study colony collapse disorder, because when they get sick, they go off and they die away from the hive.
Because, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
The last one alive in the hive is the queen. She's there.
All right, so the queen is the mama to all the drones? Am I saying that? Is
No,
that
to
how?
all the workers.
Oh, they're worker bees.
Yes, the worker bees are females. The drones sit around and with their remote control watching television.
That's
They
the
Al,
don't-
that kind of sounds like you on
Those
the
are the
weekend.
men.
Wait,
Those are the men.
wait. I had another joke. I'm thinking, I know my ex-wife is not a worker bee, if we were equating bees. She didn't believe in it.
The
But-
only one with reproductive organs is the queen in the hive. The only one having sex is the queen.
Okay.
The other females.
and who
don't
has
have-
sex with the queen?
The drone, between 4 and 40 drones at one period, and she collects enough sperm in that one time, that one session, for her whole lifetime.
So again, I don't want to be stupid. We have the queen bee, we have the drones, and what
And the
else?
workers.
And the workers. Okay, so the workers obviously do the work.
Yeah, they're the females.
And what do the drones do? Just impregnate?
Yeah.
Yes, only a
Then they
few
get
of them.
kicked to the curb.
Then
when
they
they're
get
done.
kicked out of the hive.
You're out.
So the queen mates with them and then kicks them to the
Yeah,
curb.
literally.
Do they die, or what's their
They
function?
die. The ones that do breed with her do die during the
Yeah, they die doing it.
during the hanky panky.
All right, so tell me, I should know this, but how is honey made then? How do you make honey?
Honey comes from the nectar from the flowers that they collect. They collect the nectar, and then it's pre-digested in their stomach and comes up, and it's like they call it bee barf almost. It's like they.
And what is it? Is that they produce the honeycomb? Is
Yeah, no, the honeycomb that's wax. It comes from a special gland in their stomach. The royal jelly comes from a special gland in their head.
okay? But are you following this, Richard?
Oh, sure.
No,
Mr.
wait a minute. Okay, the queen is impregnated. Who's the bee that produces the honey? Who produces it?
All the worker bees.
Oh, the worker bees actually, and
Yes.
it comes out of their body. You're
Yes,
saying?
they go out.
And where does it collect?
In the hive. They put it in the cells inside the hive.
Okay, that's what I was
But
confusing
I have a
with
question
honeycomb.
though. I mean, so in this big hive, there's just one queen bee.
One queen bee.
How does she become the queen? Do they have an election or
Well,
they vote?
it's like a genetic inspector for the, first 2 days, all the eggs are filled with royal jelly, and then there's a little inspector bees that
I know
go
Rich
around-
likes to think
they
of
go
his girl as
around
royal
and make
jelly
sure,
as well,
and they
if I could
find
say
the
that.
perfect shaped larva, and
Yeah.
then they feed that larva after the 3rd day royal jelly, and only that larva becomes a queen.
So let me ask you, at what point is the honey collected? Do you collect honey?
Honey we collect after when you see the hive bursting.
Okay,
With-
so, and then they'll produce more?
Yeah, you remove the honey and they produce more. They want you to take
But let me
the
ask.
honey.
But after 4 weeks, everybody's dead.
That's
everyone's
what I was
dead.
going to say. They
The
could
queen bee,
produce for
everybody's
4
dead.
weeks.
No,
Not the queen bee.
no. The queen bee's laying every day 2.5 times her weight in eggs. She's got 1.5 million sperm cells in her. The time that she bred,
I think I
she
knew a girl like
stores-
that
Like
once.
because-
My kind of woman.
Remember that girl getting college?
Boy, what a horse she was.
She's laying up to
Aw.
she's laying up to 2,000 eggs a day. There's 60,000 bees in one hive.
60,000
60,000.
bees.
In one hive. Yeah.
So, okay,
A
and,
good eye.
and Rich, before you came, she basically, people lend out their property to raise bees because they get a tax write-off.
Yes, they get a
And so what do you
discount.
spend your
Ag-
days harnessing or going to get the honey?
No, only in Florida. There's only 4 honey flows. The palmetto, the summer honeys. It's when they're blooming, and the big honey flows. The next one is orange.
Well,
And after-
don't
I
have a
get my
clue.
honey from Publix.
See, your honey comes from the blooms in Florida. When the big bloom, the palmetto.
You're
the
talking
orange?
about the plants?
Yes.
You're talking about orange blossoms and
Yes, yes.
okay.
They pollinate, and that's where they get the honey. They make the honey. when
So
they
even though
pollinate.
bees are around year round, they can't pollinate the plants because you're saying there are only 4 types of plants. that
There's
produce-
4 big blooms. You got your fall, winter, summer, spring blooms.
So do bees do their thing all year round?
Yes, if there's food available.
Okay. Now
There's
you also told me beforehand that not only is Florida a big state or a big area where where they do the bee business, can they do this up north where it's cold?
Well,
or
a
it's-
lot of big commercial beekeepers travel. The beekeeper that I worked with, they go to almonds in California, they go to Maine for the blueberries, and they go to Massachusetts for the cranberry, and New Jersey for the cranberry. So they travel, and New York for the apples.
So are they driving bees up there
Yes.
to do that?
Yes, in the back in flatbeds.
And all right, and let's just say that the bees are in Massachusetts in the summer. What time do they leave? They pick them up at the end of the summer and then transport them somewhere
Yeah,
else.
during the bloom time. They go up for a month, they rent the hives. Like in California, they rent the hives for between $165 a hive. And then they are done with them in 4 weeks, and they come back to Florida.
So are you making money in this bee business? What's the byproduct?
I'm not a commercial. I'm a healer. I use my products to heal people. I'm an apitherapist at Palm Beach.
Well, that's all right. Now let's talk about it because falls under the holistic medicine,
Yes.
right? And I think you said that bee treatments can cure a variety of different ailments.
Yes, the research has shown that more recently HIV. It's because of the militin in the bee venom. It's a small particle, peptide that's able to penetrate the virus and make holes in it and not damage our cells because our cells are larger and they go unharmed.
So,
And beekeepers don't get arthritis that get stung regularly, and it's
so you're saying that the toxin in the bees is actually good for you?
good for you. Yes.
All right.
Helps with cancer, actually. That's a big thing.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't read any, but you're saying that in some types of cancers that it might be an approved therapy.
Yes. Yeah, skin cancer is very
That's-
good for.
yeah.
Well, Richard, you know what?
Thank you,
We're
Mother.
coming up on our second break. When we come back, we are going to watch as Nicole gets stung. I'm not
Boy,
sure what part of
that's
her
worth-
body,
That's
but
worth the
Another
price
one's
of admission.
coming
it is. So anybody that wants to see us, go to the Know Nothing show, and you can see Nicole get stung
But I have a
live.
question. When she gets stung, the bee's going to die?
Yeah.
Right then and there, right on the table.
Well, no, it takes a few hours for her to pass.
To pass away. All
But
right.
her lifespan was like coming to an end now.
Oh,
It's
was
not
it?
like a brand new bee. It was like
Oh,
that
okay.
before we.
Because we don't want to waste
Yeah, she's
a good
3
bee on it.
weeks and 6
And
days
before we
old.
go to
Yeah.
break, did we ever know what happened to the one
Yeah,
bee?
she came back.
No, there's one up here.
No, she came back.
There's another one
There's
here.
another one over there.
Yes, and one here.
All right,
Don't
so
get
listen.
that bee to sting Freddie.
She came back to the jar.
How do you
Sweetie,
know that
look,
particular bee
right
is
there.
3 weeks and
There's
6
one at
days?
the light.
Yeah, Freddie says,
Because she's the guard bee. The way the way you work in the hive is they put the young bees are the nursing bees in the hive that feed the queen. The old bees are the guard bees in case they get hurt. They're near their.
You know what, Lynn? Why don't we go to a break while our beekeeper, Roxanne, gets her bees back in the
Good
jar?
idea. So no one go away, right? We'll be right back. And no one will get stung.
No one will get hurt.
Unless
Okay.
you stop.
Except for-
Unless you
Right?
want to get
Let me
killed.
just tell the audience, no bee has been hurt in the
Yes.
in the
Yeah, I know what
preparation.
you're trying. You're trying to make a joke.
Yeah.
Aren't you? It's falling flat.
Okay.
All right.
Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins & Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results, and they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins & Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. This is the Elkins & Friedman Know Nothing Show. Time to get back to Alan and Rich for more. If you'd like to join in, just call in 1-800-889-0267 and become part of the show. That's 1-800-889-0267. Once again, Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman.
Hey, now we're back, everybody, and we're with our special guest, Roxanne, the bee therapist. And Roxanne, you are now going to go ahead and do exactly what to Nicole.
I'm going to sting her neck because she's complaining of soreness in the neck, and bee therapy. Bee apitherapy is great for arthritis, pain management, and different things.
And let me ask Nicole, I know you're a massage therapist, and have you previously or prior to this ever heard of getting stung to try to help relieve some tension?
Not until like a month ago, honestly.
And you're a trooper.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk in a minute about your new business, because I know you're going to be working in conjunction with Roxanne.
Okay, here we
All right,
go.
so Freddie, get the camera up.
my
Okay, and what I'm looking at here for the listening audience, our guest Roxanne has a pair of long tweezers, and she has a bee in the tweezers. And what is the stinger facing out?
Yes.
This is amazing. All right, now here we go.
This isn't the same
Man, I
bee that
can't
was-
see the sting. I wish we could see the sting.
How do you know he's going to sting her?
Because I put her right up against. See?
You're literally putting the bee on her neck?
Yes, you put the bee on her neck. This one's.
Turn around.
Wait a minute, let me get a
Yeah, that's better, Nicole. That way, yeah, let's see it from the back. Now we'll be able to see you get stung.
Where's that other bee that was flying around?
I don't
Don't
know.
worry about
I think that went in your shorts, Richard.
See? Right
Here
here.
we go. Look at this.
Only on this show.
Okay.
I mean, Jimmy Fallon would love
Look at the bee is.
Pumping its life force into me.
it. Wow.
Yeah, it looks like it's putting its little.
Are you
stinger
enjoying
in.
it?
It's loving me.
That's
I
it.
love it. Feels good.
Does it really?
Get kind of a
Seriously?
buzz from it.
How
Is
many
it
times
repeatedly stinging?
So it's not just one sting. It's a
One sting.
But his stinger could fall off.
But yes, it will. But there's a little bit more to the bee sting. Is the energy from bees. You know,
Oh, I know.
nobody's ever been able to replicate the bee products because it's energy in there.
So
Bee
it's
products. Man
with
can't-
each little injection, Nicole is getting stung here, and what do you eventually do? Do you just pull the bee off her?
Yes. I let the bee finish, and then I take her. You know, she'll walk away when.
I don't know. There's just something, I guess my mind. I'm watching,
Put your mind back where it belongs.
Yeah, get stung repeatedly, and I guess
Well,
we're
if-
waiting for the bee to finish up here.
It's effective. It's effective treatment for arthritis, neck pains.
Nicole, was that good for you too?
It was good for me.
And the bee.
I wonder if it was as good for her as it was for the bee.
and then you take out with a pair of tweezers. You pull the
Stinger out.
and
Hold that. Can you actually see the stinger?
Oh, it's gone now. Yes, you can see the
Feels
stinger.
interesting. Usually we put ice on. So.
Yes. Yeah. and then
Okay, so is
Cold
Nicole
water
going to
by
swell
hand.
up in the area that was stung?
No, but ice would be good.
Do you feel it, Nicole? Do you feel it like right now?
Yeah, I feel it.
Was there like a science fiction movie once where someone got stung by a bee and then they turned into a big bee?
I think that was The Fly.
Yeah, the
Fly.
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right, so now
great.
tell us, you ladies are about to embark on any business venture, correct?
Yes.
So Nicole, tell us, what are you going to be doing with these bees, and what kind of treatments are you going to offer?
So exciting. So it's very good for producing more collagen, elastin. We're going to be coming up with products that are going to renew your skin and stimulate all the collagen and elastin back. And it helps to plump up the skin, tighten the skin.
Well, I think you said once before that some women, instead of doing the collagen in the lips, actually, that's
Bee
where the
venom.
term,
It's like
where
bee stung lips. Exactly. So she could have stung me in my lips, but we haven't tried that yet.
And that's where it actually came from,
And
the
I
term
would have had
bee
like
stung lips.
Angelina Jolie
Boy,
looking lips.
that'd be great. We'd have Angelina Jolie here.
Unbelievable.
Like us.
How many people are doing what you do now, Roxanne, in the area?
I'm it.
She's the
So
one.
you're actually it.
Chosen
And
one.
so do you advertise this on a website that you like to plug yet?
No, I get a lot of referrals from physicians in the area,
But you do have a website. You
and
can
I
refer
do.
people
Yes,
to. And
yes.
So Nicole, tell us about it. I know your business is going to launch next week. And what's the business? Talk about it for
it's
me.
called Be Renewed. And
Renewed.
I'm going to be having just an office within a salon and spa called Let's Talk Makeup. And I'm going to do my aesthetics, facials, massage. I have all different massage techniques that I do. All different kinds of really great for beauty treatments, hair removal, makeup. But my main thing I want to work with is doing some of this royal jelly and the venom and the honey and making
So
it into great
anybody right
products.
now that wanted to go ahead and
have a
get
phone
something
call.
soon, we got a phone call. You know, we have a phone call here. Let's go to our phone call and see who's on the line. It looks like Olizia.
Is it Oli?
Oli? Is this Oli?
It's Emily.
No, this is Emily.
Oh, Emily!
Oh, Emily. All right, Emily.
Emily!
And now let me ask you, you're Nicole's good friend,
Best friend.
correct?
I am Nicole's best
The
friend.
best friend.
You are her bestest buddy? Do you know
I
she
am
was
her
just stung?
bestest buddy.
How do you know Nicole?
Oh my gosh, her and I go so far back. I can't even remember how I know her.
We met at Posh, remember?
Yeah, we met at a spa.
And Emily, let me ask you, what do you mind sharing with us? What do you do for a living?
Well, I am also a massage therapist, and I'm a soon-to-be nurse.
Very good.
We're very proud of her.
What, you
She's very
studying,
dedicated.
you're in the process of getting a nursing degree right now?
I am, yeah.
Go, Emmy.
Now, do you hear Nicole just got stung for the show here? Are you willing? I mean, is this something that you would do, Emily? I mean,
I would definitely try that for sure. I mean, when the benefits speak for themselves, so yeah, it's something I definitely want to try and do and experience.
well, very good. Now, let me ask you after the show, are you her party pal? Or are you girls going out on the town?
Unfortunately not. She's in Salt Lake City.
You're in Salt Lake right now? Is this your Salt Lake City
I'm
friend?
in
Yeah.
Mormon land.
My Salt Lake City
Mormon
soulmate.
You know, I never got the full story. I know Nicole went out there, and you guys were talking about going to Deer Valley, but I don't think you ended up there.
Oh, we
but
did.
You did end up going. Yeah, you had a good
Yeah.
time. You'll come back and tell us.
We had a blast. We went skiing. We did all kinds of
We had the
stuff.
best
Hunter,
time.
Deer Valley, at Montage, and St. Regis. We had a great time.
Yeah.
So you live out in Salt Lake then?
Yeah, I do.
So do you like it? I mean, it's a beautiful area for people that are outdoorsy people. I mean, it's a gorgeous area.
You know what? It's the mecca for all things outdoors. It's so fantastic. I can't even describe it in
It
all
is. It's
seriousness.
heaven.
And you know what I thought? Because I've been to
Heaven.
Salt Lake. You know, you think of the Mormons, but I know that there was like a pretty large grunge factor that is in Salt Lake too, right?
You know what? We actually, it's kind of you wouldn't think it, but it's only about 25% LDS out here, also Mormons.
Right.
And the rest, is a lot of people that came out here because they're ski bums.
Yeah.
They're
Exactly.
hikers, they're rock climbers. And we also have a really awesome LGBT community out here. It's a very welcoming city for.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but it is. It's actually a pretty progressive city,
Yeah.
and
It is.
Well, you wouldn't think it, but wow.
no, but it is.
No,
Yeah.
I love it. I go there.
I just remember it's a very healthy population
Beautiful
out there. Everybody, you don't see a lot of fat people out there.
They're beautiful
In
people.
fact, some of the most beautiful people are
Yeah.
out here.
No ugly people out there.
Yeah, I know.
Including
It's
Emily,
I don't
who's
know
like the
if
most
it's genetics
beautiful of
out here, but
all.
there's-
There's a lot of bees out there.
Well, you know what? I guess it's getting late. I haven't gotten any stories, but
Good,
thank you.
good.
Well, yeah, good. They're saying. All right, but Nicole will give you a call after the show, and if you're ever in
Okay.
town, you're more than welcome to stop by.
Thank you.
Do you know the Osmonds?
I love you.
I love you, Chloe.
All right.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right, enough of this love fest. All right, good night. Bye-bye. Now, Nicole, you had another friend who I think dropped off the line. They got
She hung up, yeah.
She got hung up. Who is that? Do we know who that was? That was another friend?
Yes, it was. You said the name right. Aline Sia?
I think that she got fed up when this girl said she was your best friend, Nicole.
Yeah, I guess she got mad.
She probably tells everyone she's your best friend. That's what happens.
All right, now let me ask you, Roxanne, are there any other amazing bee facts that we should know about before we move on to our next story?
Well, bees are deaf.
Bees are deaf.
So, and they fly 15 miles an hour, and they have 170 olfactory receptors. So they can
So
smell you
good
a
sense
mile.
of smell, but they're
Yeah.
deaf.
Yeah.
Okay, and didn't you tell me something about flying around the world like so many times?
Yeah, to make a pound of honey,
To make
they
a
have to-
pound of honey, what does a
twice.
bee have to do?
they have to visit like over 1.5 million flowers and fly around the earth twice.
And lastly, didn't you tell me that unfortunately the bee
55,000.
population's in jeopardy because of a lot of companies' use of pesticides? That's tragic.
Systemic pesticides.
So bees aren't protected or anything like that. So do we have a shortage of bees or?
Yes.
Well, that's unfortunate. Listen, I still see the one bee. Before you leave, you might want to get that one bee buzzing around.
Where is that bee?
She's gone. She's gone. One came back to the hive and one's over there.
Oh, okay, so there's,
Yeah.
I think that one bee is waiting for Linda.
yeah,
When
Linda,
Linda's
come
gonna
back.
come back in the room. That bee's gonna get her good.
Yeah, we want to see Linda go into shock. That would be
Listen,
another
people need to know
first.
there's a difference in bees. The vegans versus the carnivores.
Yeah, tell me about that again.
Well,
There are
the
vegan bees.
The honeybees are the vegans. They're the medicinal. They get the medicinal value from the flowers that they pollinate. The carnivores are all the ones that, and they die when they sting you. The carnivores are the wasps, the hornets, the bumblebees. They can sting you more than once.
And they don't die.
And they eat the honeybees, and they don't die.
So they're the bad.
And they're not
Bumblebee
bad,
makes a
and
great
they're
tuna,
not
though.
medicinal. They're not medicinal.
Richard,
They're
another
eating
lame joke.
chicken.
Why don't you say it again? I don't think the bee lady heard you.
Bumblebee, I thought that was tuna.
Yeah. All right.
Good one.
All right. Well,
Thank you.
Chicken of the sea.
well, listen. Let's go to our last break, and I'm going to try to do some quick stories here that'll amuse and entertain. So we'll be
We
right
can hardly
back.
wait, so don't go away.
Life is so overwhelming right now, isn't it? Emotional and financial challenges too much? More debt than you can possibly handle? Are you facing divorce or another family law problem? Injured and don't know where to turn? There is a source of solid, affordable legal guidance. At Elkins and Friedman, an experienced lawyer will explain options and treat you with respect and dignity. They help people throughout Central and South Florida solve those problems. This is a law firm you can trust, where they actually pick up the phone when you call. They have a 30-year record of positive results. And they make legal costs manageable for people from all walks of life. Make the call, 954-372-2630. When you visit, you might even meet Tiffany, the office mascot. Elkins and Friedman take the intimidation and the worry out of getting the legal help you really need. Call 954-372-2630 and begin to make sense of your life. Offices in Fort Lauderdale, Boynton Beach, and Palm Beach Gardens. Non-lawyer spokesperson. Please welcome a new sponsor to the show. It's AMP2 TV, the first and only internet network that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet television production company, discover AMP2 TV, a full-service production company that can provide all streaming videos in studio or remotely. They offer web page development, and they use all the latest platforms to help make your business selling points more powerful. They can do remotes and live streaming, as well as tape productions. Let AMP2 TV handle all of your television production needs. Choose from a variety of creative TV and radio packages and see why AMP2 TV works with many major companies, including Comcast, Bravo, and Fox 29, as well as individuals and businesses of all types and sizes. To see samples of their work or to find out more, visit their website at amp2.tv. That's AMP2.tv. Or call them at 1-866-224-5422. That's 866-224-5422. You're listening to the Alan Elkins and Rich Friedman Know Nothing Show with two longtime attorneys who are here to share their experience and knowledge and some fun along the way. The toll-free number, if you want to participate, is 1-800-889-0267.
And we're back, everybody, coming down the home stretch here. And Richard, we got to talk about a couple articles. And then
What do you want to talk about?
those. All right, there are a couple things that I just find highly entertaining. The first, remember how we've done the legalization of pot stories, and it's been a huge revenue.
Well, let me ask you, hear about the Girl Scout?
Richard, that's what my next article is here.
That's a great story.
So here it is. There's some Girl Scout, very bright. It says a business-savvy Girl Scout in San Francisco decided to sell cookies, and she set up shop right outside a medical marijuana clinic.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's a smart girl.
Within 2 hours, 13-year-old Danielle sold 117 boxes of cookies to customers who were expecting to have the munchies later that night.
That's
She's
brilliant.
genius.
It is brilliant. She had so many calls. They had to call in reinforcements of Girl Scouts.
Wow.
They had to take them away from the Safeway supermarket and bring them over to the pot store.
And you don't have a problem with them doing that? With the little
No, I guess not. And it says here, at Colorado pots, where it's fully legalized, Girl Scouts are banned from selling cookies outside marijuana outlets in the well, I don't know what that means, but I guess in Colorado it's not allowed. But in San Francisco, where anything goes, business is
You can
booming.
get some hemp honey out there too.
Some hemp honey?
Yeah.
Well, tell me about hemp honey. What's hemp honey?
Well, they got to pollinate those
the
marijuana
marijuana.
plants.
Yeah.
Oh, you need bees to pollinate the marijuana plants?
I don't know. I'm just.
She doesn't want to talk
I've
about
seen.
it.
I don't want to
It's
talk.
something we can invent.
Now, wait
yeah.
a minute.
It's like
But
a
if the
new
bees
thing.
would pollinate, would the bees get a buzz, so to
Probably.
speak? Hey, the bees get a
Hey.
No, but you know what the bees would do right
Any
afterwards?
sound effect for
No,
that?
the bees would go out and buy Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Even a wah.
It would be
All
like
right.
our honey cookies.
I know. Actually, that's very interesting. All right, a couple other articles. Richard, have you
What?
ever eaten a Hot Pocket?
Yeah, I heard they were recalled.
And then I asked you if you
No, I
ever
don't
ate
eat
a
that.
Hot Pocket.
That's not good food.
Yeah, have you ever eaten a Hot Pocket?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, me too. Well, good news or bad news. There's been a massive recall of Hot Pockets that are apparently filled with bad meat. Nestle, who owns Hot Pockets, pulled the delicious microwavable treats from store shelves because the meat in them was from, quote, diseased, unsound animals.
Boy, that's very appetizing,
Isn't it? I mean, at what point did they realize that? It says, I'm not sure what an unsound animal is, but it can't be good. So they were no good,
Wow.
spoiled, and God
No
knows
good
what
Hot
they're made
Pockets.
of. Yeah, so the bottom line is don't eat any Hot Pockets.
Oh, God. It's been
Anyway.
years since I've eaten a Hot Pocket.
No Hot
so.
Pockets.
God.
Now, I'm
Or
moving
hot
right
dogs.
along.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. We have a
Nicole's-
call. I
A
don't want to
caller.
ignore our caller. Olivia, are you on the line, Olivia?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
Hi. Now, you are also a friend of Nicole. I never met anybody with so many friends.
I know.
I know. I want to call Nicole to say hello.
Happy birthday, honey.
Now, I detect some type of accent. What kind of accent is that, Olivia?
It's Spanish. I'm from Mexico.
You're from Mexico.
Well, I have a question for her.
Go ahead, Richard.
Have you ever tried a Hot Pocket?
No, I don't eat that type of food. I'm very into organic, all natural.
Oh.
Are you? You're an organic,
We gotta get you some
all-natural
of this
girl?
honey over here.
Well, yeah. Now, let me ask you. Do you work? Do you mind if we ask you? Are you working?
I'm currently a student. I am doing my master's degree in special education.
Your master's degree in what now?
It's special education.
Oh, special education. Okay, dealing with our mentally challenged friends.
Oh, don't start talking about our secretary.
Oh, Richard, what a cheap joke. I'm sorry, Olivia. I just set him up for that one. But no, what you're doing is very worthwhile. What age group do you intend to work with?
Like K through 8.
Okay, well, that's very nice and very worthwhile. Now, I understand you tonight are going out with Nicole, and you're heading to where?
Yes, we are going to Bucan to have a few drinks and then to HMR.
Yeah.
Man, I love that accent. Sounds very sexy, doesn't it?
She is very sexy.
Is she
Anyone
very
who wants
sexy?
to come out to Bucan will find out.
You hear that? It's an open invitation. Now, let me ask you, one thing we didn't talk about is that I know last week, Nicole, we never followed up on the Undie race in West
Undie
Palm.
Run.
The Undie Run.
That
Oh,
was
yeah,
a
what happened?
Fun time, let me tell you. Partying in the streets of Clematis in my
Now,
underwear.
did you
I
go
never
there
thought I'd
yourself?
have so much fun.
Did you go there with somebody like Olivia, or you just had
Yeah, I went with some friends, not Olivia, but a couple of friends. We had a
All right,
really
so
good time.
Olivia, did you hear about her Undie Run? What did she tell you?
Didn't tell her.
Yes, I heard about it. Actually, I was invited by other friends, but I was too busy. I had too much homework, so I couldn't make it. But Nicole looked beautiful. I saw the pictures, though.
At some point, did the Undies
Yeah, let's
come
see.
off? Did she tell you that, or they stayed on the whole time?
I wonder if she has any pictures of her in these.
I don't know, Richard. Don't
No
go
pictures,
there. Don't go there.
no,
No pictures?
evidence. Just use your imagination.
Well, I hope you girls. I hope you girls have a great time tonight, whatever you do, and you're more than welcome to come on the show and share whatever you'd like to with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling, honey.
All
I'll
right,
call you when I'm
Nicole will see you after the
See you
show.
in a little bit. Bye.
done. Okay, bye.
All right, now.
Yes.
Before, Richard, this
What?
is an unbelievable story, probably the most interesting story. Did you hear about the Florida teacher that was accused of forcing a student to clean the urinals with his bare hands? Did you hear about this?
I heard a little bit about it.
This was like 2 days ago. And somebody like you has an obsessive hand-washing phobia.
Right.
That would have driven you literally insane, right?
Yes,
you
it
couldn't
would.
scrub your hands enough times. I don't know if you know this about Richard, Nicole. We go to the restroom before lunch. Rich is like a surgeon, the best surgeon scrubbing up. He'll scrub up, rinse the hands, scrub up again, rinse the hands. By now I'm getting impatient. I'm saying,
Oh, okay.
come on, Richard. And he says you can't, be too germ-free.
Right.
Suds up for a third time.
I mean, you see some of our clients, right?
Oh,
And then you got to
I
put
do.
some gloves on because then you have to open the door.
I know.
Full of
That's
Well,
been
I know
a-
what I do is I have Alan open the door.
Nicole,
He
I never.
sacrifices
That's been a
himself.
pet peeve of mine for years. In fact,
Yeah.
the landlord, I actually took a trash can. What Nicole's talking about, I agree. It defeats the purpose. You wash your hands, then you open up the door where people that you see right before you, do whatever,
Right.
and they don't wash up. They just leave.
So, yeah.
And you'd think that women might be better than men. I hear it from
I think
our
women
office
are worse.
staff. Women are bigger pigs than men in some of those bathrooms.
Not me. I don't know. about
But
other
I
women,
do the
but-
paper towel.
I take the paper towel, too.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And then I put some hand sanitizer on when I walk out of
Did you
there.
even hand san- So what happened? I took out of our office. I took a trash can, had it by the door, so that at least you could just start. I don't know if you ever did one of these, but you'll use the paper towel, and then I have to. The trash can is like a couple feet away. It's like free throw in
Yeah, then you
basketball.
throw it in.
Got to shoot it in
Get a
there.
few points.
Now, Freddie, let me ask you. I bet you don't have these phobias. You just open up the hand, you do your business, you wash and go.
No, what I do is I take paper to open up the door.
Oh, you
And
do
throw
that
it
too?
out. Of course. What I want to know is what you're doing in the bathroom with this guy washing his hands.
Well, we're going to lunch. Yeah, Freddie, I'm not holding his penis if that's what you're getting at.
I just want to know when you're watching him wash his hands 3 times.
Now, wait a minute. Let me ask Lynn the board up. Lynn the board up. Do you do the same thing?
Yeah, I always hold a paper towel and walk
You
out.
do that too?
Yeah, there's trash cans all over this place. So
Now,
yeah.
let me ask you.
Yes.
You work at this big radio station. Let's put you on the spot. Have you ever seen somebody in the women's bathroom not do that. They just
Well,
do
it's
their
only a
best.
single, so you don't it's
That's
not.
right. They are little bathrooms.
Yeah, so
here.
I don't see everybody.
Yeah, these are small bathrooms.
In fact, Richard.
I'm going to ask the manager here to get us our own executive washroom.
Yeah, you do that, Richard, on your way out the door. But anyway, hey, before I forget, here's the story. Somebody named Jennifer Force, she's a teacher. She
Right.
forced a 10-year-old to clean the urinal-filled clogged urinal with his bare hands. So needless to say, what happened, the student went to the office after she made him do this. It was supposed to be a punishment because he put a paper towel, I guess, in the urinal there. She wanted him to fish it out. Okay, so he went to the office and asked. They were out of soap. This is great. At his school, they're out of soap, and he asked if he could have some soap. He complained to his mother. His mother went ahead, was furious. And the teacher, you ready for this? Not only was she suspended, but she was charged criminally. And it says released from jail after posting bond, facing a charge of a battery of a child by exposure to urine.
Yeah, that's.
Never heard of that. So
They
that
should
might
have
be
made her clean the urinal.
be a
That's what they should
after
do.
he peed in it.
Yeah, she made
Yeah.
But that's pretty good.
Whatever she made him do, she should do it 10 times more.
I agree.
Well, my
Now-
boys used to do that, though. My boys were bad. They couldn't aim, so I told them if they couldn't pick up the seat and aim, that I was going to use their toothbrushes to clean the toilet.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
And then make him brush
listen.
his teeth with it.
I know.
Just made him scared.
You know what? I can relate to that, and I'll one up you. You know, one of my stepsons, this kid makes bowel movements like the size of boulders, okay? And he clogs up the toilet. And I said, it's your responsibility, not your mother's. You don't see me cleaning it. I said, you go ahead and get out the plunger. You know, it's grotesque.
Great.
Anyway.
All right. Any other
managed
pleasant...
to drag the program to a low right before the closing.
We're going right down the toilet
How
with
much
this show.
time do we have
Alan,
left?
we're going down the toilet
We are
with
going
this
down
show.
the toilet,
Flushing
Richard.
sound effect.
Last story everybody knows. A related sports story. Disgusting video showing that guy, football player Ray Rice, knocking out his fiancée. Did you see that, Freddie?
No, I didn't see that.
I saw the video. You know about the story? Police obtained now a videotape of Baltimore Ravens running back Ray Rice hitting his fiancée, knock her unconscious, drag her out of a hotel in Atlantic City at the casino. This guy's going to not only be arrested, go to jail, probably be booted off the team. Well, we have 1 minute left. Anybody want to say
No, we don't even have 1 minute.
The only article I didn't get to was a lawyer on trial for strangling his girlfriend. But
Well, what else is new?
Yeah, I know.
For what? Strangling?
Yeah, an
Yeah,
attorney strangled
Let me
his
ask you
girlfriend.
quickly. You
Yeah.
seeing a movie this weekend?
No.
I think I'm going to see a movie. I'm going to see 3 Days to Kill with Kevin Costner.
I heard that was good.
That's
Yeah,
supposed to
I'm
be a
gonna
good
see
movie.
it. I think it's all right. You doing anything interesting Saturday night,
Running
Nicole?
around the house.
She's running around in her underwear getting stung by bees.
That's right.
Working on my business.
All right, I guess that's it.
We're done. We got 30 seconds.
And by the way, before we leave, there's one bee flying around the studio.
I
here,
think
which
it's
we
right
should-
by Linda.
It is. I think it is by Linda.
No, it's not.
No.
Oh, no, I did have another article.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Another
just-
article? Spare me.
Science discovered fat people only exercise for an hour a year.
Wow.
At a time,
All right.
everybody.
So, great show tonight.
Great show. Thank
Come
you
back
for
next
being
week.
with us, Bee Lady Roxanne.
Good night, everybody.
You've been listening to the Elkins and Friedman Know Nothing Show, where maybe you learned a little something in spite of them. To reach Alan Elkins or Rich Friedman at their offices, call 954-772-6014 or 561-738-5988. Out of area, call toll-free 1-800-922-1277 or go online to elkinsandfriedman.com. Friedman is spelled with 2 E's. Be back here next week for more from Elkins and Friedman and their Know Nothing Show.